Good evening, bonsoir, namaste. This is Naveen Manchanda from IATE, Indian Association of Travel and Tourism Experts. I would like to welcome all of you for this edition of Travel Talk. And I would also like to thank you for the support that we are receiving from IATEans and the travel fraternity from our travel colleagues. So continuing with this series, IATE is doing its job to keep connecting various verticals and to keep bringing positive news to you, motivating news to you. And under this series today, we feel glad that we are lucky today to bring a very special guest to you under Travel Talk series. And whenever you talk about tourism in India, the very first name which comes to your mind, if you talk about the veteran of tourism industry and somebody very important from tourism industry in India, the very first name which comes to your mind, he is going to be our guest today. So he needs no introduction. I'm sure that you've understood I'm talking about Dr. Subhash Goyal, and we are proud to have him today on board with us. And I mean, he needs no introduction. So everybody knows about Dr. Subhash Goyal. Everybody knows about his experience. He has been president of most of the associations in India. Everybody knows about the Strict Group and Air Charters. So Dr. Subhash Verma needs no introduction. But why we are so proud? Because he started travel business with a scratch. And today, Strict Travels is one of the leading companies, one of the biggest travel companies in India. They represent 10 airlines, 4 cruises, and 3 car rental companies. So with this, I would like to welcome Dr. Subhash Goyal to our show.
Thank you,
Namaskar,
Naveen.
sir.
Namaskar ji,
Welcome,
thank you very much for having me on your show today. I must compliment you that in such a short time, you have a huge membership of more than 1,600 people. So my best wishes.
Thank you.
So I think we are all aware that not only the country, but the whole world is going through a crisis. And we need to come out of this crisis as soon as possible. And to do that, we all in our own humble way are trying to motivate people and skill people. I mean, on behalf of IATO, we have done various skill development programs, and a few 100,000 people have benefited from it. Similarly, as chairman of India Tourism Mart and General Secretary Faith, we did 2 tourism marts, 2 physical tourism marts, where we had more than 260 delegates from all over the world in both these marts, from about 70 countries, and we have taken up each and every issue which has come during this crisis, right from the Prime Minister down to the lowest level. But unfortunately, we have not had the the result or the response of bailing out the industry or even giving us a survival package, which the rest of the whole world has done. But anyway, we have to help each other, and it is the darkest before dawn. And I'm sure together we shall overcome, and every dark cloud has a silver lining. And the silver lining is that over 200 million people have been vaccinated. And we have requested the government that those who have been vaccinated all over the world, they should start e-tourist visas as soon as possible. And we should allow, scheduled international flights to start, at least to those countries with which we have an air bubble agreement. Right. So having said that, I think I'm all yours, whatever you want to ask.
Thank you so much.
We all have to fight together, and let's keep fighting until we succeed.
Right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. I mean, we all agree on, you have been fighting a lot for our rights, and obviously the tourism industry is suffering, and we need people like you to support the industry to help us, grow more. And so today what we are planning to do, we'll be asking a few questions because everybody knows you. So, the moment I flashed the graphics, the flyers that we are going to have Dr. Subhash Goel with us, I was flooded with a lot of messages, and everybody says, oh, we know everything about him. So I just told people, you cannot know everything about him because it is impossible to know. You can't read such a deep book. It is not possible to know everything about him. So what we would like to know more about you is, it's not only the business part, because everybody knows that Stick Group is a leading group. You lead that group. You have been president of most of the associations, but we would also want to know more about more things which would be motivational for our upcoming generation, because under COVID times we have had young students who felt already very discouraged when they saw the situation become so bad. With the least problem coming, tourism is the worst affected industry. So we would want to motivate our people. We would want to know what motivates you. We would want to know more about your life, the way you took it forward, all the struggles that you went through. So I'll just ask few questions, because I heard that leadership and Dr. Subhash Goel, it is the same thing. So I heard that even in your college days, when you were in university, you were also a student leader. So what were your achievements as a student leader, sir?
Well, I was the youngest president until today. My record is there of Delhi University Students Union.
Right.
I was about 17 and a half years old when I became the president, and I was in second year. In first year BCom honors in Shri Ram College of Commerce, I became the joint secretary of the university, and in second year I became the president.
Mhm.
And in third year I studied, and I am the recipient of the Hora Gold Medal, which is the highest honor of Shri Ram College of Commerce, given to the best all-rounder of the college.
Amazing.
So after that, I did my MBA from FMS, Faculty of Management Studies, Delhi University.
Mhm.
I was the only candidate who was selected as a very special case immediately after my college in the evening, because my father was not well and I was helping him in his business. So I refused to join the morning. So Professor Das Gupta, who was the dean, he said, no, for you, we'll do a special exception, because when the country needs good doctors, good engineers, good scientists, the country also needs good leaders. And he says, I see the spark in you. And so he admitted me to for MBA in the evening. It was DBM first and then 1 year MBA.
Okay.
So after doing my MBA, I started my travel business, and we'll come to that later on. You asked me a question: what were my achievements?
Ji.
I think they were not my achievements, but in leadership, the first thing you have to do is you have to take the people with you, and you have not to be led by them, but you have to do things jointly together. So the first issue that we took up where I was joint secretary and I was officiating as the secretary was the law students all over the country had gone on strike against the Apprenticeship Act. So Apprenticeship Act was that you could not be a lawyer until you studied for 2 years as an apprentice with an existing lawyer, and without that you could not get a degree. So this was like a bonded slavery for the lawyers. So we Ghiraud GS Pathak, and I was lathi charged. My finger was fractured. A lot of people were sent to jail. Fortunately, I was a good runner because I was a record holder in 800 meters in Delhi Public School. So I was able to. So that was my biggest achievement. I mean, one of my big achievements, because I got Apprenticeship Act scrapped. And then the second biggest achievement as president of Delhi University Students Union was that we were in a barrack, sort of a dilapidated barrack. So we got the university building. Dr. C.D. Deshmukh who was earlier the finance minister, was a vice chancellor. So we collected 1 rupee in a box, and we collected about 100,000 rupees. And I took that money. That time the dollar was about 8 or 9 rupees, so it was 100,000 rupees was big amount.
Okay.
So I took that money early in the morning. In 2-3 taxis, we filled up. Me and another friend of mine, we took them to the vice chancellor's house at around 7 a.m. So he, with Durga Bhai Deshmukh, his wife, was sitting there, and they said, "Why have you come so early? Couldn't this wait till 9 o'clock?" I said, "Till 9 o'clock, half the boxes would not be there, because we have had a unanimous decision that 50% of the money we'll share amongst ourselves, and 50% we'll give to the university." Vice Chancellor was very happy at my honesty, and he said, "I'll put your name on the foundation stone of the Delhi University Students' Union building." So that building was built near the near the arts faculty, and like I promised, he put my name on the foundation stone. So I think the Students' Union got a building, and that was, I think, a very big achievement. The third big thing that happened was there was a tremendous shortage of colleges. So I was, supported by ABVP, and I was the first president of Delhi University Students' Union. Otherwise, previously the Congress presidents used to come. So Arun Jaitley, Vijay Goyal, Sudhanshu Mittal, Vijay Jolly, they were all my juniors. And till today, they respect me. And unfortunately, we have lost Arun Jaitley. He was my very, very dear friend. He has been many times to my house. I had been many times to his house. So he was like a brother. So anyway, life has to go on. So what happened is that there was, pre-medical in Delhi University. So all the students who came first class, and they used to get admission in MBBS. And to get admission in MBBS, they had to do pre-medical. So what we realized, that people who had got first class first in pre-medical were not getting admission in MBBS.
Okay.
So the health minister was Uma Shankar Dikshit, and they were sitting outside his house. I think it was 7 Tughlaq Road, on a hunger strike. So my term as president of Delhi University Students' Union was over, but I was elected president of about 46 university unions of all over the country, known as Central Board of University Unions. So by virtue of that, I had a lot of clout with the government and a lot of authority. So I had a scooter, and I was going on that scooter, and I saw these students on a hunger strike outside Mr. Pathak's house. And I could not resist myself, and I asked them what the problem was. And then when they said this is the issue, I said, okay, I'm coming back. I left my scooter at home, came back, and called a meeting of all the, I told them that I'm coming back in 1 or 2 hours. Or I want all the students and their parents to be there. तो वो तुगलक रोड का जो roundabout है, वहाँ पे we had a meeting. And I said, look, I'll see to it that all of you become doctors, and pre-medical is abolished, but then you have to follow me 100%. So उन्होंने तो संभाली कि yes, Mr. Goyal, we are with you. तो हमने क्या करा कि अभी तक वो हंगर स्ट्राइक पे बैठे थे. We घिरावड Uma Shankar Dikshit's house, both from the front door and the back door, and no one could come in, no one could get out. So a lot of police people came, and then we were called for a meeting. They had all the principals of all the medical colleges, the health secretary, the home secretary was there, and Uma Shankar Dikshit. They wanted me to come alone for the meeting. I said no. The action group will come. So we had 3 boys and 3 girls, and myself. We were 7 people. We went there, and when we went there, we realized that they were trying to threaten us. That we'll put you in jail, we'll do this, we'll spoil your careers, this, that, and all. And then I realized that, Uma Shankar Dikshit had a big takhat with a round pillow, and he had 5-6 air conditions, and he was like a big lala sitting there.
Okay.
So I took off my slippers, put them on his table. I mean, my feet, put it on his table, and he says, "How dare you? Are you ashamed? You are sitting in front of a minister like this." So I said, "You should be ashamed that you have a photograph of Mahatma Gandhi when you are the most corrupt man in India, being treasurer of the Congress party. All the black money is with you, and you say you don't have money for a medical college." I said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." So he started trembling because no one had spoken to him like this. So he got up and he said, "I'm not talking to you." And he went inside another room, and the meeting was dissolved. So when we came back, there were about 110 students who were sitting there geraing, and there were at least 300 to 400 policemen with tear gas, with guns, with all sorts of things. Then I saw a person taking photograph. So I recognized all the press photographers. So I knew he was a police photographer. I took his camera and threw it against the wall. It got broken. Then we were all arrested, and we were taken to Chanakyapuri police station. So we were all singing Rang De Vasanti Chola and all those freedom. So then from there we were shifted to Tihar Central Jail. And so we were singing Rang De Vasanti Chola and all those songs. And finally, when we landed up in jail, so we were given a very dirty type of place. So फिर वहाँ पे जेल पे हमने strike करी, barrack शोर है, जेल दीक्षित चोर है, and then we got. I said we are all graduates, so we should be getting a B class. So we were given B class, and then we were given VIP treatment. And next day Delhi University went on strike, so the government shook, and then all the opposition leader, Bajpai, Pillu Modi, LK Advani, all these people, they were all opposition leaders. कोई fruit basket लेके आ रहा है, कोई मिठाई लेके आ रहा है, कोई सब.
Okay.
And all the media, we were covered in all the newspapers. So then it had become a problem because the whole university was closed. So they said, "We will release you. You sign a bond." So I knew this much that if signing a bond means that we are accepting a conviction, and if they are convicted, they cannot even become IAS or take any government job. So we refused. So we said, either you release us unconditionally, or we are very happy in the prison. Because by the time जो छोटे मोटे prisoners थे, उन्होंने हमारी सेवा करनी शुरू कर दी. Because we had a lot of food and we were distributing the food. So we were like the kings of
comfortable and well settled. Yeah.
Okay. So, and we were abusing the jailer like anything. There is discrimination. Where is the money which is meant for feeding the inmates? Where is it going, and all that stuff? Right. So then you see, I don't know if you have been to Tihar jail, but in Tihar jail there are 2 gates. Okay. अगर एक gate बंद होता है, then the second gate opens. Both the gates open simultaneously. Okay. This is connected with Nari Niketan, where the women prisoners are. Okay. So instead of we refuse to go to the court also, because court में जाने का मतलब वो escort में लेके जाएंगे, फिर press photographers photo खींचेंगे and all that. Okay. So we said we are not going. So the judge came to वो जो बीच की जगह है, the central place, corridor, there are court was. So they said, if you verbally apologize, okay, you don't sign, I will release you. Okay. Because they had tension to release us. Otherwise, it was very violent those days. जब law students की हमने strike करी थी, तो buses जल गई थी और बहुत कुछ हो गया था. So they were under pressure. So I said, no, we will not even apologize, because we would like to know what is our crime. What crime have we committed? So he said, you want to know your crime? It's section 302, 304, 306, jitni dafaएं हैं.
Okay, सारी लगा दी.
Attempt to murder, war against the state, arson, looting, this, that,
My
and
goodness.
all that stuff.
Okay.
तो मेरे मन में आया, मैंने कहा सुभाष गोयल तू मर गया और इनको ही बर्बाद दिया. मैंने कहा तेरा भी career खत्म, इनका भी कैरियर खत्म.
Oh,
But those days we were, I was a firebrand and I said, उठो, ये चांदी के चंद टुकड़ों पे बिका हुआ सरकारी कुत्ता हमें इंसाफ नहीं दिला सकता.
okay. Okay.
To translate it, that this government pet dog who's living on the crumbs of the government cannot give us justice.
Yes.
Then I told him, my lord, the only crime we have committed is we've asked for a constitutional right, that is right to education. And the second crime we have committed is that our father is not a black marketeer or a smuggler, and these students cannot pay the capitation fee of 1 or 2 lakhs, which is a precondition. I said third crime they committed was, instead of joining IAS or IFS, they chose the noble profession of medicine, and with 90% IQ they were selected in pre-medical, and now with first class first they are not getting admission in medical MBBS. That means you have not only wasted 2 years of their life, but you have ruined their career. So either you should abolish pre-medical from Delhi University, or you should give them admission. So the judge was convinced. He ignored all the personal abuses I had made, and he saw logic in my argument, and he said he ordered the University Medical College to be formed, and he ordered that all 110 students who have done pre-medical have to be admitted in MBBS first year. So under those university orders, I think that was one of my biggest achievements, because I saved the career of 110 students, and some of these students, like Anil Bansal was also president of Delhi Medical Association, and he was All India Medical Association, IMA managing committee or an office bearer. And he called me when there was a strike in All India Institute of Medical Sciences. I had gone and spoken there and supported them. So, and whenever I go to any hospital, if one of those 110 doctors is there, even in front of the patients and other doctors, they touch my feet. They say, we are doctors because of you. So I think by God's grace and honesty and sincerity, getting pre-medical abolished, getting 110 students was another very achievement. Another achievement was not my achievement as such, but was the achievement of because the Delhi Metropolitan Council, BJP was in power, and since I had supported them, and Vijay Kumar Bhotra was the chief minister or the chief executive councillor, I used to call him. He had taken me with him to Badrinath to say thanks when he won the election. Okay. So he was there, and all his cabinet knew me because they had invited me at all their functions.
Right.
So I requested that this is the biggest issue of students not. So they opened 6 colleges during my term at my initiation, and a representation made by Delhi University Students' Union, which was Mata Sundari College, Gargi College, Maitri College, College of Vocational Studies, and one or two other names, I think. So 6 colleges were opened, and I think thousands and thousands of students have benefited because of that. And after that, no new college till today. It's about 50 years. No new college has come up, Delhi University. So, that was another very big achievement. Then there were a lot of small achievements, like starting the University Mirror, and getting the health center, the World University Service Health Center started, getting the postgraduate women's hostel done. So all these projects were initiated during my time. Another big achievement was that apart from Black Day celebration, and all those things. So I mean, I'm writing a book on on my student revolution days. So I think you can read all that because it's too big. Uh, but another thing was we collected all the university union presidents, and we created the Central Board of University Unions. And V.V. Giri, who was the vice president and also the chancellor of Delhi University, he inaugurated our convention in Vigyan Bhavan. And then I remained president for about 4 or 5 years. Until I was there, it was active. And then I think the students started fighting unions, our unions. And then probably it died its natural death.
Okay.
So these are some of my achievements as Delhi University Students' Union.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's indeed very interesting. So many achievements, and it seems like a movie story, because even you can see people writing. Nana is writing from Bangalore. Interesting to know this side of Mr. Goel, because this is something totally unique. You asked me about Tihar Jail. I did all my schooling from Central School Janakpuri. So we used to go, close to Tihar Jail, but I mean, fortunately, I've never been inside. But this seems like a movie story. I mean, it's like a Bollywood story.
To know that how many innocent people are suffering there without trial. At least I took up at least 56 applications of people who I thought were innocent and were wrongly because of the corrupt system that we have. It is very, very unfortunate. Anyway, that's another part.
That's very unfortunate. So focusing on this thing, in fact, when you tell me the story about how you spoke to them and with all this energy and all this this revolution thing and Tihar Jail, from that, talking about Tihar Jail, personally I would think that is a road which should be leading you to the parliament and not towards stick travels and charters. So I mean, how this shift, because
to be honest, I was offered a ticket for the parliament.
Okay.
Both by BJP and the Congress. But I refused because Congress we could not take because we were anti-establishment. BJP I was keen, but my father refused because, you see, he unfortunately was caught during the freedom movement by the British, and he was put in jail and he was tortured because he was distributing the Jallianwala Bagh inquiry committee, that the Congress Party inquiry committee report, which was known as Guru Ka Bagh inquiry committee report, which was banned by the British. And so he had told me not to get involved in active politics. And secondly, and I had given him my word, and I belong to a generation where children honored their word given to the parents. In fact, I honor my word given to anyone. So having said that, I think I decided not to get involved in politics. But if you have to work for the country and you have to do something for the country, then I think without being in politics or without being in a position, you can still contribute. So I think I'm very happy that, like my professor had said, because I was offered a very senior position as a senior management trainee in one of the multinationals when I finished my MBA with a car and a house. But my professor advised me, he said, Subhash, you should be a job creator, not a job seeker. And so our family business is books and publishing, which my brothers run. We have 2 publishing houses, Pigeon Books, Goel Saab Publishers, Bini Publishing House, GBD Publishers, and General Book Depot. So that's our family business. And so instead of doing my family business, I decided to do something on my own. And when I was president of Delhi University Students' Union, I was invited for an international student conference in Japan. So the vice chancellor wanted to, give me the ticket to go to Japan. But we, as I mentioned, were anti-establishment. So we didn't want people to say that I've been bought over by the university. So I said, I'll go to my father and I'll ask him for the ticket. But my father had suffered a huge loss because he used to import books. Those days, when the dollar was 4 rupees, he had an import license of 9 lakh rupees. So he used to get books on 60 days credit. And all of a sudden, the dollar had devalued, rupee had devalued, and dollar from 4 became 8. So he really suffered. He was on the verge of bankruptcy, and with great difficulty, he was able to pull himself out. He even had a mild heart attack. So he said, son, I can't afford it. So what we did is, a lot of my friends said, we'll contribute. I said, no, I don't want anyone's contribution. But then I went to a company, Mercury Travel. There was one Mr. Sundar Singh, poor fellow is dead now. He was the GM.
Okay.
So he said, if you collect 15 people, I'll give you the 16th ticket free.
Okay.
So that's what I did. And I went on a free ticket. And that was my first trip abroad. And I also made 1,000 rupees per person commission. So I told all my friends, because one thing my father had told me, that you have to be very honest in your life. And honesty is the best policy. So I told them that, look, I'm making 1,000 rupees per person. So if you want, I'm ready to share 500 rupees with you. So none of the students who were there took the money, except one of them. And then I went to Japan. I remember Cathay Pacific used to fly from Calcutta via Hong Kong and Taipei to Tokyo and Osaka. Our meeting was in Osaka.
Okay.
So we went on Air India to Calcutta and then on Cathay Pacific to Osaka. And that is how my whole Japan trip is one full chapter in my book. So I
Okay.
won't talk about that. That was also very interesting. How nationalist the Japanese people are and
Right.
how to be punctual and how to be nationalistic, I learned from them. So I said, this is good business because it works. When we were in debt, I was working part-time. Even as president of Delhi University, I used to go down, I had an all-route pass in DTC, and I used to have 2 bundles of books and sell books to the libraries. And also then I bought a scooter and I used to have a bundle of books. And I used to, I was never ashamed of doing hard work, or even as president to pick up bundles of books and sell them. Because that's another thing I learned from my father, that you should not feel ashamed of any work, even if you're cleaning the toilets. But if you're doing anything which is anti-national, which will bring a bad name to your country or your family or the organization you work for, or which is dishonest, basically, you should feel ashamed of that.
So,
And so I was not ashamed of hard work. And but then I realized that books mein to itni kamai hai nahi, and we have to give credit. Isme, with 1 month of work as a freelance, I was able to make 15,000 rupees.
जी.
So this was the first group I took in 70, then the second group I took in 71. And then in 1971, I was invited to an international conference on youth unrest in Paris. But the venue shifted to Israel, Tel Aviv, and we didn't have diplomatic relations with Israel. So I was refused that you can't go, because हमारा जो passport है उस ज़माने में, it was written valid for all these countries, सबके नाम लिखे होते थे except South Africa, Israel, and Taiwan, because that time we didn't recognize Taiwan. Uh, so it was not valid for Israel. So
Okay.
it was impossible to get a passport valid for Israel. And to attend an international conference of UNESCO, we had to get clearances from Ministry of Education, Ministry of External Affairs, and Ministry of Finance. And there was only 1 week for the conference to start. So within these 1 week, I was able to get all the clearances. In the last, I had gone to the Ministry of Finance, and I remember one Mr. Kaul used to be the Joint Secretary. He refused. Then I gate crashed into one Mr. YT Shah, who was Secretary Ministry of Finance. That time the security itni nahi hoti thi.
जी.
So he said, look, he's my colleague, I can't overrule him, but you're justified. But you try to do something. So when I was coming out, fortunately, I saw Mrs. Gandhi coming in, and she recognized me because I had collected 1 lakh rupees for the National Defense Fund and given it to her during the Indo-Pak war. So she recognized me. She had come to the campus, and she said, Subhash, what are you doing here? So, Subhash, kya kar rahe ho? I told her the story. I said, look, I'm being discriminated against. This man has sent his son, because I remember his son had, that is how I had gone reference and met him, was in Delhi Public School, and he had gone in abroad in experiments in international living. So I said, look, we are not given an opportunity. So he said, what do you want? I said, I want that passport for Israel should be issued to me, and I should be given permission. So he immediately called one of his secretary and said, "Ki inka kaam karo." So then his secretary said, you come to such and such room in the Parliament House. He was going to see off Mrs. Gandhi. So I went and waited for him. He went and saw, and then sitting on the table, I got all the clearances. And
Okay.
I'm the first Indian who got an official special passport issued for Israel.
Wow.
And that time we didn't have an Israeli consulate, so there was I think it was 50 Pedder Road. There was an Israeli consulate for Jews of Maharashtra, which the Maharashtra government had allowed. So there I got a visa on my special passport, and I took a TWA flight. Used to fly from Bombay via Rome to Tel Aviv.
Okay.
So I took that flight. I went on a one-way ticket because I had a letter that UNESCO would pay for my return ticket.
Okay.
Again, it's a long story how no one came to receive me, and I had a letter from ML to people friends of Israel. Then I got lift, and two young beautiful girls gave me lift. Young, unmarried, and I was wanting to flirt with them. But then I saw that both of them had machine guns with them. They were soldiers. तो मैंने कहा सुभाष
खुश
जाना
होने
तो
की
जाना।
जरूरत नहीं है।
So then I kept quiet, and then they took me to the professor's house, who gave me food, shelter, and gave me a sweater also, because I was not prepared. I thought it would be a hot place. And then I was driven next day to Jerusalem, I think Hilton or Sheraton Hotel, beautiful room. So this was a UNESCO conference,
Okay.
and they were all talking about genocide in Biafra and all that stuff. So when my turn came to speak, I was given a briefing by the Ministry of External Affairs, because we didn't recognize Israel, and we were supporting Palestine at that time. And we were close to the Arab states. So they said, "Aap Palestine ke baare mein don't speak anything, but you talk about the genocide that is taking place in Bangladesh." So when my turn came, I said, I admire the Jews, but just like your sisters were raped in front of your eyes, and your children were butchered in front of your eyes, and your mother and parents were tortured, I said, our sisters are being raped by the Pakistanis, and our mothers are being tortured, and children are being butchered. And this is not happening to 1 million or 2 million. I said, this is happening to 12 million refugees who have run away from East Pakistan and are on our borders as refugees. That time we had 12 million refugees. So Zubin Mehta was listening to my program. I gave a very emotional speech. So, so he was very impressed. So he donated the entire proceeds of his. He's an Indian of American origin and was performing in Israel, and he's Jewish. So he gave his proceeds, and then they wanted. I said no. Because I was a guest of the University of Israel, so Jerusalem. So I told them that you make a committee, and that professor who had given me shelter, I said let him be the chairman of. He was a very like a most respected professor of Israel. So he became the chairman, and later on I got a message that they had collected about 1 million Israeli pounds, which they had donated for UNESCO for providing relief to Bangladesh children. So there, the ticket was, return ticket which I had to take from UNESCO. I'm coming very shortly. I'm cutting everything short because these are all, one war stories. So I realized that I think it was 300 or 400 pounds, the return ticket, full fare economy. People in India didn't know about student tickets. So I realized that there was a student body, ISTA, Israeli student on Rinni's Road in Jerusalem. They had a student charter from Tel Aviv to London, Gatwick, which was only 110 pounds. And then there was this Jewish guy who was the president of the University of London Union, who was there at the same conference. He said, you can get a cheap ticket from London for 250 pounds. So if you're getting 500 pounds or something, you will still save 200-300 pounds if you go via London. So I said, good idea. So we went to the British embassy in Jerusalem, and those days Commonwealth nationals didn't need a visa for UK. So they gave me a printed form. So I took that printed form, took the student charter, and landed at Gatwick Airport. And I had a one-way ticket, and I had a letter from Brian Clark, University of London Union, that I will be their guest in London. And I had 300 or 400 pounds, which was, after taking out from 500 pounds, 110 pounds, I had 480 or 90 pounds I had. So I said, this is enough to buy my return ticket. But they said, sorry, we can't give you the visa. So being a student leader those days, I sat down in the immigration and I started raising slogans. I said, you are discriminating against me. When you came to my country, you came without a visa. Why are you denying me? You looted my country. I'm not looting your country. I said, I'll call a press conference. So they had a meeting amongst themselves. And then they gave me a 6 months entry. So Brian Clark was waiting for me. He took me and we went to Tottenham Court Road. There was a student hostel. He booked me there. I think it was 3 or 5 pounds a day or something like that with bed and breakfast. So there I got some training with the National Union of Students Travel Service. They used to operate charters from London to this, but they were not operating any charters to India. And finally, I went and bought an Egypt Air ticket of 250 pounds or 300 pounds back to India. So I have another very interesting story, how I lost all my money by Find the Jack and all that stuff. So I won't go into that. For that, you have to read my book. And then,
definitely.
Then when I came on Egypt Air, there was a 24-hour halt in Paris. And I said, look, I have to visit the Eiffel Tower. But we didn't have any France visa or anything. But after paying for the ticket, I had about 70 or 80 pounds left with me. So I converted them into half of them into francs, and I left my bag in the left luggage room. Took out my overcoat because it was cold in Paris. I hitchhiked and went to Champs-Élysées,
Champs-Élysées.
Champs-Élysées, or whatever you call it.
जी,
So I had
जी,
the most wonderful time there, and then saw the Eiffel Tower, and then the restaurants were very expensive,
जी.
and then I went to a store which was cheap. It was cheaper to buy a bottle of wine and a loaf of bread. So वहाँ bench पे बैठ के I was remember killing Khalil Gibran a bottle of wine and a loaf of bread. वो कर करा के I had enough money to take a taxi. So I sold my air ticket and I told the taxi driver, Avion. He said, CCV, or he took me in the taxi. And he was driving and driving. I said, it's not so far. Finally, he took me to an airport, which was bigger and brighter. And I went there and I realized that this is Orly Airport and my flight was from Le Bourget.
From
Le
the
Bourget.
Bourget. Okay.
Charles de Gaulle was not built those
But
days.
not. Yeah, okay.
So it was from Le Bourget. Le Bourget was
Le
the
Bourget.
chief of the charter airport.
Okay,
So there was no counter of EgyptAir there. Finally, I found an Air India counter. And by the time I paid to the taxi, I had hardly, I think, 50 or 20 francs left with me.
Okay.
And I didn't have money to even take a taxi to go to Le Bourget. And by the time the flight was closed, so I saw a person in Air India counter who recognized me. He says, "Are you
Okay.
Subhash Goyal, who was our president of Delhi University?" I said, "Yes." So he said,
Okay.
"What are you doing here?" So I told him my story, and he said, "Look," he wrote down the address of a youth hostel, and he gave me a bus number. He says, "You take that bus." And I said, "But this is all the money I have." So he said, he gave me, I think, few hundred francs, and he said, "No." And he says, "I'll take it from you in India. I trust you. And this is my address. When you come to India, you give it to me." I said, "Fine." I said, "I'll give it to you in rupees." He said, "No problem." So I took a bus. I landed up late at night in the youth hostel. And fortunately, I was given a bed. And that was very interesting because it was a mixed youth hostel of boys and girls. And we had limited money. And we had a lot of fun. I made a lot of girlfriends. And we used to, not in a bad way, but we had a lot of, we were eating, drinking, dancing together. And we had a lot of, this, what do you call, breakfast was unlimited. So all of us used to have a bag with us. So ande, makhan, double roti for lunch. We used to put the lunch over there. So I had the most wonderful time with me in Paris. And I used to drink those days. So I used to always have a hangover and always a hand in a beautiful girl. And we were like 2-3 boys and girls, and we used to have a lot of fun. And then finally, I was able to go again. I was 7 days because EgyptAir flew only once a week. So I had to
Okay.
go for 7 days.
Okay, you have to.
So
You were
those were
forced to have fun for 6 days.
they were the 6 most wonderful days of my life. And again, details in my book. Then I reached the airport, and when Le Bourget airport, and when I was checking in, they refused. I had overstayed. They said something in French that I'm going to be arrested.
Okay.
So, and I couldn't speak a word of French. So fortunately, and I was telling him in English, "Your Frenchman taxi driver cheated me. He took me to Orly instead of this. And this is my ticket for the left luggage. My luggage." They used to charge 1 franc, and the key they used to give. So the key used to be with you, and you put the key, and the baggage used to open. So fortunately, there was a American couple behind me in the line who knew French and English. So they
Okay.
understood my story. They explained to him in French, and I think this guy was like a diplomat or something. So he showed his ID card or something, and then they said,
Okay.
they gave me, they allowed me. Then I went and got my baggage, and I was the first to check in on the Egypt Air flight.
Okay.
Then we landed in Cairo, and Cairo. One thing I must tell you, that I was not carrying the Israeli passport and the Israeli newspapers. I had deposited them in the Indian High Commission to be sent by diplomatic mail, because I was told that if I'm caught with anything Israeli, then they could put me behind bars, because I think Egypt was also at war with Israel those days. So that time I had learnt in London about ticketing and tour conductor and all that stuff, and ITAR and all that. So there was a group of, I think, 15-20 people who were on training of HMT, and they were on the same flight, and we were not, because again it was a cheap flight. We were not given any over. So I collected everyone together, and we started making noise, shouting, raising slogans. So they gave us the Sheraton Hotel in Egypt. But then Egypt ke gate pe there used to be these taxi drivers who were saying, pyramids, pyramids, pyramids. So I said that pyramids are one of the wonders of the world. I've seen the Eiffel Tower. Let's see the pyramids. So I went and told I said, who's your leader? So he gave me the leader. So I said that, look, we are 15 people. So I'll give you 15 people. How much you charge? So Israeli pounds were very cheap. I think for $1 you got 10 or 12 Israeli pounds or something like that. So whatever, I don't remember the amount. So he was charging, I think, 100 Israeli pounds, and he said, I will give you 10 pounds per person as commission, 10% commission. So plus your trip will be free. So I made another about 150 as a tour leader, and I got my tour of Egypt free. And then we were in Sheraton Hotel, and then early morning they took us back, and whatever little shopping I did in the duty free at Egypt airport, I bought a camera, I bought some whiskey and all those things, because in Paris and London I didn't have money to buy anything. So I bought something for my family, friends and all with that money. And finally, because landed in Bombay, I could not take an Indian Airlines flight because Delhi airport was closed because the war was still on with Pakistan. And so I stayed with a friend in Bombay. I had some address, and he bought my whiskey bottles, and he gave me some money. So those days there were Iranian restaurants in Bombay. For 5 rupees you could get a meal. So after a few days, I think I got a train ticket to Delhi, and I reached Delhi safe. Then I met Dr. Karan Singh, and this was in end of 1971. So 72, I met Dr. Karan Singh because he was the Civil Aviation and Tourism Minister. And I said, I want to start a student travel company. So, and I want government aid because I didn't have any money. So he advised me, he said, Subhash, if you, take any money from the government, you'll be subject to government audit, and throughout your life, you'll be answering questions. So you start something on your own. And I have not inaugurated any private company. I, as minister, will come and inaugurate your office. So it was already 72 by that time, and I had to still wind up a few things. And so in 1973,
Mhm.
I decided to open a company known as Students Travel Information Center to do specially for charters for students to Japan and other countries, because you get about 40 to 50% off the normal fare. No one else was doing it. So there was in Connaught Place an old building, theatre communication building. Wahan I hired one chair for I think 3 or 4 thousand or 5,000 rupees a month, and uh, we made a souvenir and we collected 10-15,000 rupees, and we hired Mavlankar Hall, and because I could not because it was a dilapidated building, it was like the slum area where the Indian coffee house was.
जी,
So I could not bring Dr. Karan Singh there. So we in Mavlankar Hall, we
okay.
had a function. We had 1,500. I mean, we had the hall full, and we were covered by the newspapers. So we became quite popular, and we started issuing the UNESCO endorsed, which I had got the contact when I was in London, international student ID cards, and then slowly we became very popular, and we were doing very good business. In 1974, I got married,
Mhm. Mhm.
and after that, there was emergency was declared, and the
Mhm.
theatre communication building was razed to the ground.
Okay.
And I was married. Mine was a love marriage, no support from the family. I had resigned from my father's bookshop, and I was on the street.
Mhm.
I don't believe in giving up. So we were staying in a small rented flat, me and my wife,
Mhm.
and I had tears in my eyes. But we said, no, we'll not give up. So we used to have an old ambassador car. तो उसके
Mhm.
चारों तरफ साइन बोर्ड्स of Student Travel Information Center,
Okay.
and we had already become the agents for Royal Nepal Airlines, and we
अच्छा.
were selling the tickets, we were selling international student cards, and we had arrangements with other GSAs. So we
Okay.
used to sell a lot of Thai International, a lot of there were
Mhm.
student flights to London which used to sell,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
student tickets to Sri
Mhm.
Lanka, Nepal, and all these Myanmar and all.
Right.
So we started doing good business. So we parked the car where the Durberries of the theatre communication building were there. So
Okay.
those days Hindustan Times used to be there, and
Right.
their evening news covered me with a photo. So my friend Surinder Singh, he was the owner of York Hotel. He gave me a counter in York Hotel. Then we took a room there,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that is how we started. And there I met the general manager in a party of Royal Nepal of
Mhm.
Air Salon, and he was looking for a GSA. So he offered me a GSA, but he said, you have to sign the agreement is as stick, not as student travel. So that is how stick was born,
Okay.
and we started as stick, and that was our first GSA, and then there
Mhm.
was no looking back. But for Air Salon, we had to take an office in Imperial Hotel, and
Mhm.
I was very much worried because it was 5,000 rupees a month, whether I can afford it or not. So my friend Subhash Verma used to work in Lufthansa airline those days.
जी.
So I went to him. I said, "What is your advice?" He said, "It's a gold mine. Take it, and you will not regret it." That's why I respect him quite a lot, because I
जी.
shifted to Hotel Imperial, and there we got a passenger agency for Cathay Pacific, for Thai International, and no
Okay.
looking back.
Okay. That's amazing. That's amazing story. And because you spoke about your marriage, I mean, if you allow, I just wanted to ask you, because people say that behind every successful man there is a woman. So, and I heard in your case, I mean, I'm not sure it
Yeah,
was some intercaste marriage or
100,
something. So,
100% true.
जी.
Behind the success of every man, there's a woman, and
जी.
behind the failure of every man, there's more than one.
That's a good one, actually.
So, so,
That's a secret revealed. Yeah.
so when I was selling books
Mhm.
for at my father's bookshop,
जी.
so I used to go, with a bundle of books, because you see, we had a lot of imported books,
Mhm.
and if the edition of the books is changed, then even the Raddiwala will not take the books,
Will not
because
take. Okay.
he will take out the cover, and a book which
Ji.
was $30 or $40 will
Ji.
sell for 2 rupees or 1 rupee,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
The weight in paper, that's all.
Okay.
So I used to sell those books because every library used to get grants, and new
Right.
colleges like Gargi College, Mata Sundari College,
Right.
Vivekanand College, all these colleges got good grants because they
Okay.
had to furnish their library from a scratch. So I
Right.
used to sell books. So
Okay.
like they say, marriages are made in heaven,
Right.
right? So I was going and I was going on, this Irvin Road, which is now Asif Ali Road, and I just crossed this area where the Mata Sundari College was. Then I just got a flash that this is a new college and they have a new library, so let me go and visit them.
Mhm.
So I turned my scooter and I went into the college, and normally men were not allowed in women's colleges, but
Okay.
to visit the library or the science laboratory, and for vendors and suppliers, it was allowed.
Okay.
So they allowed me to visit the library,
Mhm.
and when I entered the library, I
Mhm.
mean, I was friendly to a lot of girls in Delhi
Mhm.
University. Our
Mhm.
old university hostel was behind Miranda House. Office was behind Miranda House hostel.
Mhm. Mhm.
Being, you know, a president of Delhi University, I was very much in
Mhm.
demand.
Okay.
And I was not very handsome, but I was not bad to look at. So, so, I had a lot of friends.
Okay.
But my God, when I entered, Mata Sundari College, as the name says, कि सब भैंजी
Mhm.
type लोग होंगे वहाँ पे.
Mhm.
So that is what I
Mhm.
was expecting.
Mhm.
But oh my God, what a woman I saw. One of the
Mhm.
most beautiful women I'd seen in my life. And
Mhm.
she was immaculately dressed. I still remember she had a pink sari,
Mhm.
beautiful face, and a pink hanky chief stuck.
Mhm.
And I was amazed. I was stunned. I'd
Mhm.
visited so many libraries. I'd never seen such a beautiful librarian. So it was love at first sight. Seeing her was
Okay.
really such a delight that it was love at first sight.
Wow.
So I forgot about selling books. I
Okay.
always carried a bundle of books with me,
Okay.
uh, but I tried to sell myself. So I said,
Okay.
"Excuse me, ma'am, my name is Subhash Goyal. I'm from General Book Depot." And he said, "But aren't you the president? Weren't you the president of Delhi University Students Union?" I said, "Yes."
Okay.
So I said, "Do you know me from then?" She said, "No, I used to hate you." I said, "Why?"
Okay.
She said, "Every second day you were calling a strike, and the bus used to drop us instead of Morris Nagar to Mall Road,
Uh,
and I had to
Okay.
walk all the way to Hindu College,
Oh my
and
goodness.
I used to curse you."
What a reason to remember.
Says once one girl, you had come to the cafe and there was a
Mhm.
commotion. We were having coffee, and suddenly there was a commotion, and everyone got stood up or got disturbed that president of Delhi University has come. So one of my friends, she said, "Come, come, come, I'll introduce you." And she said, "No, I'm not interested in meeting this man.
Mhm.
He's a pain in the neck."
Okay.
So anyway, when I met her, I became friendly to her because she knew me. She became friendly. She was kind enough. She selected a lot of books. She also obliged me.
Mhm.
Uh, then I went next day again, but she was not there.
Mhm.
Another librarian was there.
Mhm.
So I said, "Where is her maiden name was Chandu?" I said, "Where is Miss Jandu?" She said, "Oh, she's taking a class." I said, "Isn't she the librarian?" She said, "No, she's the professor of English." And that day,
Okay.
yesterday, I was on leave, so she was officiating.
Acha.
Manika, it's a good luck. So I took it as a good luck. And again, to cut the long story short,
Mhm.
we became friendly, and uh, then her father was looking for pe- people to marry, and then I came to know. I
Mhm.
said, no, I must marry
Mhm.
you. And
Mhm.
then they said, no, it's very difficult to convince my father.
Mhm.
So I was taught that before doing any sales, I must do some market research. So I
Mhm.
did research on her father. Her
Mhm.
father, I mean, one Sikh, one Jat community, तो एक करेला ऊपर से नीम चढ़ा. ऊपर से he was a IAS officer. He was
Okay.
level of a joint secretary. He was manager shipping with the or director shipping in the Food Corporation of India.
Okay.
And when I did some research, I came to know that someone tried to bribe him with a gold pen, and he threw him out, and he
Acha.
cancelled his order. So I said he's a very tough nut to crack.
Mhm.
So I did a little more research. Those days we didn't have Google, so we had to
Mhm.
go ourselves and talk to people and do some research.
Mhm.
So I found out that her brother was studying in Delhi School of Economics.
Okay.
So I became friendly with him. I made him contest the election of Delhi School of Economics, made him one,
Okay.
made him the
Okay.
general secretary of Delhi School of Economics. So he was
Okay.
on my side. Then
Mhm.
she had lost a young brother in accident, and her mother was very depressed. So then I came to know they had joined Radha Swami Satsang, so I had started going to Satsang.
Okay.
Originally, I had gone to be friendly with the parents, but I was very impressed with the philosophy,
Mhm.
and I also became the disciple. So I started going to their house. I came to know the story how their brother died. So, in order to change the mind of a mother, I bought
Mhm.
them a small puppy.
Mhm.
So she
Okay.
was very friendly, and so I was able to win over the mother.
Okay.
But the
Okay.
father was insisting that he will marry only in a Sikh family.
Acha. Okay.
So I went to propose, and by the time I had done a lot of cultivation, and that also is one chapter in my book, but I'll come to
Great.
the end.
Yeah.
Uh, that when I went to propose, I had done this research that the difference between a normal person and a Sikh is that whenever they have to commit a murder, they'll think 10 times. So I said, then what is the difference? He says a normal person will think 10 times before committing a murder. A Sikh will think 10 times after committing the murder because they are
Okay.
martial race, and they have been taught, they have
Mhm.
compassion. I am the greatest admirer of Sikhism, and I follow Sikhism's teachings, Guru Granth Sahib's teaching in my life. So I have all respect for them, but they are martial. So I said, I love this girl, but I don't love her to give my life. So when she was in Kirti Nagar, and I had done a scouting and done the escape route, that I'll
Okay.
go and propose to her, but if he comes up with the sword to kill me, I
Mhm.
will want to run. So I had a friend,
Okay.
Uncle Tyagi, who was the co-owner of Natraj Hotel uh,
Okay.
near Kirti Nagar. So he had an open jeep. So I told him that I'm giving you the petrol, but keep the driver and the jeep started. So
Okay.
then I went to propose. So he said, look, the he didn't even ask me to sit down. He said,
Ji.
how dare you in the such a he shouted at me so hard that I started
Ji.
trembling. I was
Okay.
waiting that when the sword is coming out. He
Okay.
said, that's why you were being friendly with us, and this, that. That's why you were coming to the house. This. Then he spoke for about 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. Until that time, he didn't ask me for a glass of water or ask me to sit down. Then I used my salesmanship. I said, what are you looking for in your daughter's, groom, husband? Say he should be educated. I said, what else? He should be financially strong. He should be able to support my daughter. She's already working as a lecturer, this, that, and all. So I said, look, I'm educated. I'm a gold medalist from Shriram College. I'm an MBA. I have a huge business of my father, and I'll be doing an independent business. So what is your issue? And I said, we love each other. And I mean, I could have eloped with her. I could have run away with her. But we are both educated. And we said, no, if we'll marry, we'll remain unmarried. Or if we marry, we'll marry with the consent of the parents. So that cooled him off a little bit.
Okay.
And he said, okay, I'll call my wife, you sit down. So before he asked me to sit down, that was after about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I said, sir, please hold on. I went out and told that Jeep, switch off the engine. The petrol is getting wasted.
Okay, it's not
I knew I
required.
was in safe
You
zone.
don't need to run.
So,
Okay.
this is the story.
Ji. Hello. I guess I think some technical issue. Meanwhile, we've got some videos, some messages. There is a message from Mr. Rajiv Mehra, the president of IATO, Indian Association of Indian Tour Operators Association. So we'll just play the video that we have received.
Start.
I just want to place on record that Mr. Subhash Goyal is the ex-president of the Indian Association of Tour Operators. He has been in the executive committee of the Indian Association of Tour Operators since 1994 till 2021, either as the president or the immediate past president. No one has remained like this for such a long tenure. He was also the General Secretary of Faith for about four years, and during his tenure as General Secretary Faith, he was chairman of ITM for 2018, 2019 and 2021. I wish him all the best for future. Thank you.
So that was a message from Mr. Rajiv Mehra. Mr. Rajiv Mehra, who is president of Indian Association of Tour Operators, IATO. So we just got this message. And now we have got a message for
There was a
Subhash.
light went off, and
So meanwhile, we just played the message from Mr. Rajiv Mehra. We just played. So we have two more video messages to play because Dr. Goyal, IATA, we are pan-India now, and a lot of people wanted to send you messages, because people were very excited when you spoke about you. So there is one message from Urvashi Mehta Chawla that we are going to play right now.
Thank you, Naveen and Team IIT for this fantastic initiative. I think the initiative of IIT Jobs is truly great, and especially when a time which is so difficult for all of us, where salaries have been truncated. This is going to go a long way to give people opportunity to be able to give back to the travel industry. It's absolutely super work that IIT is doing with her. And also, I would like to take a moment to thank Mr. Subhash Goyal for being such a guiding force throughout our life and career in this industry. He's truly been a veteran and shown us the path, and we wish him even more success and good health in the times to come.
So thank you, Urvashi. Now we have got another message coming from Bangalore from Nana.
Hi everyone, my name is Nana Malika Williams and I'm based out of Bangalore. I own a company called Bangalore Escapades. I'm a part of the IATA club here. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Naveen and the co-members for forming this wonderful association, which has given me the opportunity to interact with so many wonderful colleagues on a pan-India basis. I'm really looking forward to today's session with Mr. Subhash Goyal, who needs absolutely no introduction and is very well known in the industry, whether it is in Delhi or it's in the South. Mr. Goyal is a name to reckon with. Thank you.
Thank you, Nana. So, Goyal sir, Nana has asked us the question. She wants to know when is your book coming and what is the title of the book?
Well, I have already written one book on which I got a doctorate, is
Ji.
Poverty Eradication and Economic Development through Tourism,
Ji.
an action plan for India, which I had presented
Ji.
to Honorable Narendra Modi ji when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat and he had come for our ITO convention. And I had the honor of interacting with him on tourism. And I think he or his advisors have read. I've talked about that global economy will be driven by three super service industries. One is technology, whether it is information technology, biotechnology, or nanotechnology. Second is telecommunication, and third is tourism, being labor intensive. So that book has already been reprinted 3 times. It's about 10 or 11 years old. And now I'm going to update that. Then I'm printing a book. I have not fixed the title, but it can be called my experiences of life, or experiences of truth, or challenges in life, or how to succeed, from something like that.
Right.
That I have, my daughter is working on it, and she says that we decide.
Okay.
And
This one is, I
the publisher will also title have a catchy title. So it gives my whole history of how being one of the 13 children, and how I struggled and how my parents struggled.
Right.
So let's come to the concluding part, which is, I think I've already exceeded my time. I hope I'm not boring everyone, because
No. We still see audience with the comments and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Please go ahead, sir.
So when the light went off, I think we were on, the marriage. So
Right.
this is how I finally got married, and my wife was an asset in building the company. And that is how we started Student Travel, which is now Stick Travels Private Limited.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, sir. So, so what would you like to say about IATA, the forum that we have created, Indian Association of Travel and Tourism Experts?
Well, if it was not a good forum, I wouldn't be talking to you. I have already sent my message last time. Because of technical issues, I could not join. The voice was not there. And I think the best initiative you have taken is this job exchange you're doing, because there's a lot of depression amongst individuals and tourism professionals. And I must compliment each and every one of you. Even Subhash Verma, your national advisor, keeps talking about it all the time. And I have a lot of respect for him. And he was the first one who, when you were starting it, he talked to me, and I said, no, it's a very good initiative, and my full support will be there with you. So I think keep doing a great job, and don't get sidetracked, because when you become powerful, there are a lot of things that happen, because you have to. That is why I don't stay in ITO. Also, I changed the constitution because I didn't want to be more than 2 terms, although I was retaken many times.
Right.
Similarly, in faith also, I left faith after taking ITM to its height. So I believe in taking an organization to a height and then leaving it for the next generation to take it to bigger heights.
Right.
So even my company, my daughter Isha Goel, who's an MBA from ISP Hyderabad, one of the toppers and on the interview board, is now running the company as a CEO. So I'm giving my time, in giving lectures to MBA students and motivating them.
Right. Thank you, sir. So now we just want to have a quick rapid fire section, which will be very quick. We have 10 short questions, just simple answers we need. So what is your favorite city for a dream vacation?
Well, problem is that any city you go to,
Ji.
if you have the right company with you,
Okay.
it's the best. But my favorite holiday is on a cruise.
Okay.
Because once a year, both my daughters, their children, all of us, we go on a family cruise
Okay.
where there is no disturbance. In the night when we are sleeping, it takes us to another destination, and we are able to do, and we are able to be together as a family.
Right.
So even one of my son-in-law is in Singapore. He flies from there, and people fly from all over, and we meet. So cruise, being on a cruise ship, because you get
Right.
vegetarian food, there's a doctor on board, there
Right.
is spa, so you don't have
Yeah.
to do. And fortunately, our company represents 4 of the world's best cruise ships, and Holland America, Windstar, European
Okay.
River Cruise. So we are very lucky. We get good
Right.
rates.
Mhm. Okay. And what's your favorite food?
See, I am a vegetarian, and uh, I used to take meat till the university. I
Okay.
used to drink also till that time. But after
Mhm.
I got initiated in Radha Swami Satsang,
Mhm.
I gave up eating meat, drinking, even if I take cake and pastries, they have to be eggless. So I'm a
Right.
pure vegetarian, and it's a healthy diet because vegetarian food is easy to digest. So even at my age, my stamina is much more than many youngsters I see nowadays who are living on junk food, and I consider myself quite healthy. So I would suggest that in vegetarian food, my favorite is basically South Indian. I love dosa. I love uttappam, and I use a air fryer. We
Okay.
have a very good cook, and my favorite is she makes bread rolls. Mushroom bread rolls and potato bread rolls, which I
Okay.
love.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And what's your biggest fear?
Biggest faith?
Biggest
Huh?
fear?
Fear.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is about my country, right? I really, you see, I had a lot of opportunities of settling abroad.
Mhm.
I had various offers. Even today, anytime there are 1 or 2 countries I can go to and I'll get residentship.
Mhm.
The only reason I have stayed back in India is, and that is why no one writes a book on poverty eradication. I have seen poverty, I have seen hunger, I have seen, suffering.
Mhm.
Uh, I remember my father was in the hospital and we didn't have money.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I have seen those days,
Mhm.
and my heart cries when I see so much poverty in my country. And anything I can do before I die to eradicate this poverty from India, I'll be the happiest person in the world. And whatever little I can do, I'm doing. I'm I'm giving, but I don't do publicity for it since you've asked it. I give scholarships to some poor and needy students. We've been helping people to the best of our ability, financially as otherwise, although we are also financially very tight. But and we regularly contribute to the Gurdwara for Langar, Motibagh Gurdwara, which is next to West End where we stay, Shantiniketan. And we have doubled our contribution to the Gurdwara after seeing the fantastic work the Gurdwaras are doing, whether it was migrant workers or it was oxygen langar or giving free
Mhm.
medicines. Hats
Mhm.
off to the community. And fortunately, my wife is also a Sikh, and my daughter is also married in a Sikh family, and we are from Punjab. My father had 4 brothers, and one of the brother was a Sikh, because in Punjab it was a tradition. They are the
Mhm.
protectors of Hindus. The Khalsa
Right.
was the protector when the Mughal rulers were raping our women and taking them, Kashmiri women, for the Khalsa was created to protect the Hindus. So I think we must salute them, and I'm grateful to God that half my family is Sikh, and I mean they are daring people. They are the biggest contributors in our army.
Mhm.
They contribute to the economy. They contribute to the foreign exchange. And wherever they have gone, anywhere in the world, they have raised the name of India. Today in Canada, there are 4 cabinet ministers, Sikhs, right? So we are proud of the Sikhs and Sikhism as a faith. We're proud of it.
Okay. And if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, which words would you choose?
My motto, which I learned in Delhi Public School, service before self.
Amazing. And if you could have a superpower, which superpower would you choose?
Well, I don't think I'll ever have a superpower,
Mhm.
but there is a superpower which is behind all of us. I want that superpower's grace to be on me, right? And unfortunately, there is only one God. No religion has said there are 2 gods, right? Some people call him Jesus, some people call him Allah, some people call him Ram. You see, different God has come in human form in different periods of time, different parts of the history, teaching the same philosophy of love, compassion, and brotherhood.
And what is the best compliment you have ever received?
I don't know. I've received so many compliments, but I don't, and also abuses. So I don't
Okay.
measure them. I don't
Okay.
get flattered by any compliment, and I don't get disturbed by any abuse. Because I remember one quotation that जब karma चलते हैं तो कुत्ते भौंकते हैं.
Okay. True.
अगर कुत्तों के भौंकने से karma रुक जाते तो Jesus Christ would not have been discovered. Jesus Christ was discovered by 3 Arabs who saw a star
Mhm.
and they followed the star. So when they used to go their caravans, they had, security with them,
Mhm.
food supplies with them, और घंटियां बजी होती थी, bells.
जी.
Dogs used to. So this is.
Right.
I don't get disturbed by brickbats. I don't get flattered by compliments. I believe to work with a missionary zeal.
Right.
If I can be of use to anyone, I think, and I can wipe someone's tear or fill someone's stomach, my Guru, as Vivekanand said, that is joy, the greatest joy. That is actually God realization.
Right. And if you had to choose another country for shifting, to which country would you shift?
I will not shift to any country. I am born in India. I would like to die in India. But one of the reasons I chose the travel business over the publishing business, and my brothers are doing very good in publishing. They do about, both of them do about 200 books each every year. So they are very, very successful. So I wanted, you may be the richest man in the world.
Mhm.
If you have not seen the planet on which you are born, then you're like a frog in a well. So I would like to see, before I die, each and every country of the world. But I would prefer to die in India.
Okay. And what is the craziest thing on your bucket list?
I don't know. I mean, I have a big bucket list,
Okay.
but I don't think I have anything crazy on it. Not as yet.
Okay.
But now, since you mentioned, I'll think of something crazy.
Okay. So now I would like to call, two of my colleagues from IATE. Okay. We've received a lot of messages. Nana is writing, it was very insightful session on Dr. Goel's youth and dedication to humanity. Thank you, Naveen and Team IATE. Thank you, Nana. Thank you for being there. So now I would like to call 2 more people from Team IATE, 2 of our pillars of strength from IATE. So Mr. Subhash Verma, our national advisor, and Veena Robinson, our general secretary. They would want to interact with you. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, Subhash ji.
I didn't know you were there.
Very good. Very good evening.
Good
No,
evening,
we are
Mr.
just
Goyal.
2 minutes.
Veena Robinson, the
Hello,
dynamic
Good
Veena
evening,
Robinson.
sir.
I've seen you in action. Good.
Thank you so much, sir. I mean, thank you so much that you have noticed that we are in action. IIT is always in action, actually. So it's because of IIT all of us are in action.
Yes, she is always in action. Yes.
Not just me, all of us, Subhash sir.
Yes,
Not just
yes,
me,
yes, I
all of
know.
us.
I'm
It's
I'm
the
in
team.
I'm in IT because of Subhash Verma. I've
But
taught.
so
That's
nice of you,
amazing.
sir.
He
Thank you.
introduced me to IT.
Thank
And we
you.
are lucky to have two Subhash in IIT. You
Double,
know, Subhash Verma
Yes.
sir and Mrs. Subhash Goyal.
we have
Yes.
double bonus.
Because
Double
the
bonus.
name
Yes.
the name has fire in it.
No,
Oh yes,
only
absolutely.
That we can see. Yeah.
I was born exactly 9 months after Subhash Chandra Bose's plane crash. So that's
Okay.
my father named me Subhash. He thought I was an
Okay.
incarnation of him, which
Reincarnation.
You
I wish I was.
yes. Naveen, the time is already. I think you've taken such a. I've listened to the whole program, so I will just take only 2 minutes. You see, with Subhash Goel, my association is. I would not call minding a historical, multi-dimensional, and travel industry associations, and also as Shriram College. Of course, I was senior. I was out when he became president. But when I was in Lufthansa, he already told when he went to Imperial, I was the one who really sort of took him to
On
Imperial,
your advice.
room,
On your advice.
room number 5, and it
Yes.
became an icon only. Even the room number was
Okay.
lucky. And secondly, you see, I think 1 minute to take on IATE, Subhaji, I'll tell you, I have been in many associations. Nothing against all the associations. They are doing their beautiful work, everything. But IATE, I would call it, when I became an international advisor, and Naveen told me, it's a new age thing. It's digital. It's relevant to the time. And honestly, I will not go in detail, but there are 1 or 2 things which are in old association. There are limitings where we want to have a different one here, and we hope we will achieve what we are planning and what we are doing already. And that's what I would say about IATE. I'm very happy to be here as a national advisor, but we are doing a great job. But it's a beginning. We have yet to do a lot more. That's what I would say.
Absolutely.
And I will say thank you for you being our. As and when we called you, you came, you advised us, and you are participating.
I am
And
at your
we are
command, sir.
grateful.
At your command.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Naveen, I wanted to talk to Mr. Goyal. I just need one
Please,
quick minute.
please go
Sir,
ahead.
first of all,
Take your
thank you
time.
so much.
I have plenty of time. I don't know if you guys have
Okay, all right.
time.
So,
or not.
Subhash sir, I just first of all thank you so much for being with us on the show. I mean, it's always a pleasure and honor to have you with us. But apart from that, I was also watching the show, and what a journey! I mean, it's been starting from your college days, from your professional career, then coming into the tourism industry. I mean, you have been a winner. Your hard work, your dedication, it's so motivating. I mean, I am touched. And I'm already I'm the kind of person who gets motivated very easily. But आज आपसे आपकी जो बातें हैं, आपकी जो story सुनी है, it is too good, and it's giving us a lot of motivation. And you know what? I like the क्या कहते हैं आपका Bollywood style, आपका पढ़ाकू वाला style. When you were rude and that bindas kind of a person, a student, a true student. Uske baad ek sincere person. And then when you got into tourism industry, you took this initiative of doing something for the industry, which is a very, very big thing. I think tourism industry ke logon ko aapse bahut kuch seekhne ko mila hai. It's been a big, long journey. Awesome. I mean, I'm touched, and I wanted to ask you so many questions. I wanted to ask you about your book, which you have written, Poverty Eradication and Economic Development Through Tourism. But you have already answered all the questions. I wanted to ask you about the book which you are going to publish soon, but you have already told us a little bit about that, so I will not really ask those questions again. But would you like to say something? And before we cut it down, you have to talk about IIT, because you are a senior, you are a veteran in the industry. As you know, IIT is just 1 year old. In fact, we are not even 1 year old. We will be completing 1 year next month on 24th of July. We already have 2,000 plus members, and we have our presence in 15 states already. We are aggressively active in the industry.
I'll just say two things.
Yes.
2 or 3 things. One is, there is a saying, well begun is half done.
Yes.
So I think you started with a bang. And second is, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes.
You see, there was a need for such an organization, and you were able to satisfy that need, right?
Right, sir.
And most important thing is you're doing is that you have started this, like a job exchange or a job, facilitation for the people who have got dislocated or who have been unemployed during this period. I would like to only say 2 or 3 things to the youngsters and the professional who are a little bit depressed because of the closing of the industry. Because I was told by Naveen that we have to say something. I think I wasted a lot of time talking about myself. So my advice to all the youngsters who are listening is 3 things. In life, whatever you do, you have to be focused, right? महाभारत में जब अर्जुन से पूछा गया कि भाई तुम्हें मच्छी नजर आ रही है घूमती हुई, कहता नहीं, मुझे मच्छी की आंख नजर आ रही है. That is the amount of focus you need to be. Secondly, all those men who became great did so not by a sudden flight. They, when their comrades slept, toiled upwards in the night. So there is no substitute to hard work, right? But hard work doesn't mean the man who's digging from morning till evening is also doing hard work. So hard work has to be with a strategy, with an aim. And you have to plan. Firstly, you have to find out what you exactly want to do and how you're going to reach that objective. Then you have to be 100% disciplined. You have to come on time, everything like the Japanese or the Swiss clockwork, right? So people should respect it, because if you do not respect time, that means you're not respecting yourself and respecting others' time. And secondly, you have to every day, whatever you believe in, whether you believe you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Sikh or a Jain, every day thank God for everything He's given you. I do that. Since I was 5 years, I was in a convent school in Hampton Court in Missouri. I cannot sleep until I pray. And every morning also you should 5 minutes pray. If your parents are alive, you should touch their feet. And when you come back, you should hug them, because without them, you're zero. And it is their blessings, which whatever we are, right? So that is second thing. And third thing is that don't be depressed. We are in a very stormy period, but all storms run out of rain, right? We are in the darkest period of our life, but remember, it is the darkest before dawn. Whenever God pulls you back, जैसे एक गुलेल होती है or a bow and arrow, when you pull back the string, it propels you to move forward. So I think tourism is going to come back with a bang. We must focus on increasing our skills. We must not keep all our eggs in one basket. We should diversify. We as Stick Travel have also diversified into charters, into non-air products, Earlier, we were only focused on air products. Thank God we are in non-air products. We have diversified into cargo. So unless and until you diversify, right, and you should have some savings for the rainy days, because don't overtrade. Cut your coat according to your cloth. We have two big examples. Don't be over ambitious. Don't be flattered by people. When Naveen asked me what happened, to Jet Airways, Mr. Naresh Goyal flattered. He became over ambitious, and so did Malia. बैंकों से ओवरड्राफ्ट ले लिया, लोन्स ले लिए, ये कर लिया. Then you get caught in the debt trap. So somehow you need to come out of that, and there is no work which is below the dignity of anyone. If tomorrow everything is lost, and if I have a good team, I can build up another empire like Stick Travels, right? So you remain focused. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. And failures are the pillars of success. आप disheartened ना हो if you fail once, you fail twice. The man who made electricity, he failed 1,000 times. But can you imagine a world about electricity? I can give you hundreds of examples of people who have failed. Bill Gates had failed in his university. So, I mean, don't get disheartened. There is always an opportunity, and God, if He closes one door, He opens another. And I believe in God. Whatever God you believe in, have faith, and be confident of yourself. Whatever may happen. What Swami Vivekananda said, muscles of iron and gigantic wills. You should awake, arise, and let nothing stop you. Once you're focused, once you're determined, and you're committed, then फिर शाहरुख खान ने भी कहा था ना कि अगर किसी चीज को चाहो तो कायनात
पूरी शिद्दत से अगर आप किसी चीज को चाहें, पूरी कायनात आपको उससे मिलवा देती है.
For those youngsters who are not married, focus on one girl or one boy at a time. Then you'll be able to achieve something. हर लड़की को देख के या हर लड़के को देख के दिल फिसल जाएगा. So rolling stone will gather no moss. These are some of the things. And as because I was focused, it took me 20 years to get e-visa. Every meeting, every this, I was fighting for visa on arrival, and then later on we changed to e-visa. And our commitment was so strong. And then when Arun Jaitley was there, he promised he'll get it done. To me, he got it done. And when the Home Minister announced it, I was president of IATO, and he said, no, you will announce it with me. And I organized the function on behalf of IATO in Ashoka Hotel, and we announced the e-visa. So I think that was my biggest contribution to the industry. And second thing, we got the Open Sky done, where, today there are so many airlines. Otherwise, it was only Indian Airlines and Air India. And then we opened the skies that India is more important than Air India. We allowed international airlines to come in, because how will the tourist come?
Yes.
I remember Mr. Modi said that we need 5 million tourists that time. I said, how will they come? Swim the ocean unless there are more air flights. So then after that, he opened the air sky with South Asia. He opened the air sky with ASEAN. We have an open sky with America. And now I'm fighting for an open sky with Africa. In the Middle East, we have more or less an open sky. So unless we have this, so I think we have to keep fighting. We don't have to give up. So in ITA also, you have to keep fighting. Apart from networking and apart from this, You have to take up industry issues. And united we stand, divided we fall. So
Yes.
there should be common issues where whether it is faith, whether it is your organization or it is any other organization, whether it's TIE, whether it's TAFI, whether it is ITO, we all need to work together because this is our country and everyone has to contribute something for the succeeding generation. We have to leave our country, our city, our family a better place than what we inherited it. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Thank you. God bless you and Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much, sir.
Very much.
It was a pleasure to have you on board. I think people have learned
Thank you
so
very
much,
much.
so
Really,
much from
thank
you.
you.
So we
It
look
was
forward to
very
your support again in future also for IATA.
Anytime.
always, always.
Always.
Anytime.
Subhash Goyal sir, I want to say thank you for one more thing. I'm from Gargi College, so you are the person behind Gargi College. So I think I should say one personal thanks to you. So thank you so much for all the efforts you made for the students, and you
But-
made things possible to all of us.
बट वीना
चलो,
डोंट
I-
फॉरगेट
I-
वन थिंग, उन्होंने एक चीज बोली थी, कई जगह पे वो बहन जी टाइप लगता है नाम से।
No, Gargi. No,
वो
not
माता
Gargi.
सुंदरी
Mata
था।
Sundari
वो
College.
माता
दूसरा है, वो
सुंदरी,
Not
सुंदरी।
like-
वो माता सुंदरी है।
वो माता
माता
सुंदरी है।
सुंदरी।
और सुभाष सर, एक और चीज थी,
वर्मा जी
मुझे थोड़ा सा
remembers.
बुरा लगा, मुझे थोड़ा सा बुरा लगा, when you were there and you could not flirt with those two young, beautiful, unmarried
वो-
females. So
वो थी ना
that
बंदूक
was,
वाली।
I felt a little bad about it, that you lost that opportunity to flirt with them.
How do
Sorry
you know
about that.
that was that opportunity?
Oh
How do
my
you know
God.
he lost? Exactly.
I don't know.
You-
Your words,
Ba-
sir. You
बाकी
said that,
चीजों-
I could not flirt with them. On
Mas-
screen,
At that
I was
moment,
lost.
na, the
Master
story
of
continues.
questions will be told no lies.
Okay.
All right.
चलो ठीक है जी, thank you so much.
I
It was a
never
pleasure
knew
to have
So
you.
much. It was wonderful evening.
Wonderful.
Very different, unique.
We'll keep disturbing you for
Happy.
more things because
Anytime.
November we are planning some road shows also in November.
Yeah.
IATA is coming up with multiple things. I will keep the industry busy.
Good.
We
God
will
bless
keep
you.
the industry busy.
And keep
Thank
up
you
the
so
good
much.
work. Keep up the
Thank you ji. Bye.
Thank you
Namaste.
so much, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.